Hello, everybody. A very, very warm welcome. Finally, a live show again. Thank you so much for your patience. Thank you for tuning in. Great that you're here. Well, I suppose at least in the UK there isn't much else to do with the rail strike at the moment, but it's just lovely to connect, lovely to see you all, and I'm sure we'll have a phenomenal evening. Let's just have a quick look at the comments. If you find the background a bit strange, that's from my Airbnb apartment at the moment, because I'm in Brighton. I just needed some time to get away and to fully focus on my new project, which I will talk about in a moment. Hello back to LA. Well, you will probably not have snow there. We do in the UK at the moment, and Vermont, and various other places in America, in the UK. Fantastic, great having you all here. Absolutely amazing. And I will try to basically keep the regularity of the live show now. The last 2 weeks have been slightly overwhelming with being completely immersed in this new project. But we will carry on now with a live show every week, again at some stage with some guests as well, and looking at all the really burning issues that we in our personal lives are faced with and the world is faced with. And tonight is a particularly deep topic, which I kind of I'm not so sure if I look forward to it or if I'm slightly anxious, because it's exactly the topic I'm working on at present, and I still feel my thoughts are all over the place. The ideas are there, so I hope it's not going to be too over the place what we're going to discuss. But I think it's really important. So over the next few weeks, we will have Reiki shows every week, live shows. So next week, just before Christmas, we'll have one. Then we'll have one between Christmas and the New Year, and very regularly again in the New Year. And we also have the Reiki Challenge once again. And this is very fascinating at the moment, because the Reiki Challenge is the basis of the entire Reiki Revolution. The Reiki Revolution is, in fact, a coaching program. It is a program of exercises designed to access deeper levels of ourselves, to feel a deeper connection with the universe and with each other. And along this way, find a different way of dealing with everyday life and of interacting with other people to a point where we become really more content, happier, and more resting in ourselves, where we see more meaning in life. And step by step, the more people who do it, the more people, the more the world will become a better place. And at the moment, it's really fascinating to work on that, because the launch of the basis of the Reiki Revolution is very near now. So the guidance I received was very much to focus on primarily two things. One is the weekly live show as the basis of interaction, and there will be more and more people coming on again, and we'll discuss various topics and we'll do more exercises. And this is basically where we get together, where we grow our community and answer questions and just kind of tap into the source of Reiki collectively. And the other is a book, the written foundation of the idea of the Reiki Revolution. And this is, well, I wouldn't say it's almost finished, but it has to, because it will launch on the 8th of February in London, and then a few weeks later in New York City. So it has to be ready by then. And I was told it will be ready. I have no idea how, but somehow I've just canceled my plans for New Year's Eve so that I can work constantly on that. But I'm sure it's going to work, and it's really, really fascinating. So it is a step-by-step guide along the Reiki challenge exercises, but there's also background information about why things are the way they are, and how Reiki can be an amazing tool to really change not just our lives, but humankind and life on this planet. And fascinatingly, the repercussions will shine, or whatever you want to call it, will ripple into the universe. So what we do down here in our physical lives has an effect, a knock-on effect on the entire universe. And this is something that has been become very, very clear over the work on this project, and just absolutely fascinating. So next year is the big launch of not just the book of the Reiki Revolution, but we'll go much more deeply every week and experientially into the connection. And we will try to reach more and more and more people. We need a lot of people to change the world. And this is what we really need to work on. So it's a very, very collective program and an effort that we need to make. And I really feel that the Reiki challenge is the absolute foundation. The exercises are the foundation of everything. And if you want to kickstart the new year into the best year so far, into an amazingly transformational and happy year, a year where you reach more people than ever before from your heart, then I would really, really recommend joining in with the Reiki Challenge in January. It's just on the website now, the reikirevolution.com. If you're if you're watching now, you probably have received the reminders and newsletters I've sent out. Otherwise, just go to thereikirevolution.com and you'll find the link there, and you can find out more about this program. I had been wondering for a while why things were so slow in my life, everywhere in the world. And I'm not so sure why things are so slow in the world, but I know why they're relatively slow with the development of the Reiki Revolution, because the program has been there for 2 years now, and the feedback has been amazing. And when I was in LA last year, I thought this is now really ready to bring that much more into the world. And it's just amazing to have so many people from the USA on tonight. So that's fabulous. Thank you so much for being here. I thought I was ready, and I wasn't. The program of change was ready. It's been fine-tuned since, and there's been so much of downloads and channelings and refinements recently that the Reiki Challenge in January will be very, very different from what we've done before in terms of additional information. But the key exercises of connection to the universe and changing ourselves are all the same. The problem is, I was wondering why we need to change the world at all. I mean, the fact that that we need to change the world is clear. It's obvious. We just need to switch on the news. We just need to listen inside. How do we feel? Relaxed, happy, full of energy, ready to tackle the day, happy family, positive life. Probably not, at least not completely. Probably there are um, elements of illness, of stress, of frustration or depression, some kind of inner quarreling. There are different aspects, different sides to us. We may feel stuck. It's not quite how we wish life to be. This is what I hear from pretty much everyone. And this inner turmoil or the inner pressure and the frustration really got worse, in my personal opinion, or with the feedback I get after COVID. So something is really there that is bothering us, that is very heavy in our lives. And then, of course, when we look at the news, when we look at what's going on in the world, anywhere from the very prominently featured war in Ukraine to various other places in the world where there are wars, where there is violence, where people struggle making a living, where people are hungry, where people are leaving their homes because they have to, they just cannot survive there. And there are worldwide streams of refugees in the cold, trying to find a better life and shelter. There is the climate, there is the pollution, there is the environmental challenges, and of course there is the financial pressure. There is the energy supply problems. There is just so much in terms of problems in the world. It almost looks unsurmountable. And if we want to improve our lives, and if we want to improve the world and change that for the better, we really need to ask why this is so difficult in the first place. Why is there rape and torture and persecution? Why are there wars? Why are there accidents? In a way, I find that we kind of have resorted to accepting this is just life. It just happens. It's always happened since the beginning of time. We can go back when we see the early earliest scriptures about what's happening in the world, when we see in caves the drawings or whatever. It's about fighting, it's about hunting, it's about killing, it's about survival, very, very much. So in a way, it's kind of built into this planet or humankind. Why is that so? And I really feel if we don't answer this question, we will struggle changing. So why is that? And it's really, really interesting what has come as information, starting at this strange time in LA last year when I thought I would be ready. I was ready with this program, but the question wasn't answered. And then step by step, the information came that in order to understand the difficulties in our everyday life, we need to understand the setup of the universe. And I've spoken about that before, the different the different levels of the universe. The seventh level, the idea of the creation, or basically the level where everything just is. Whether we call it God, the universe, the creative force, all that is, the highest power, the supreme being. This is basically the starting point. The starting point is there is a starting point. There is eternity. I've got a slight cold, so today that's my excuse. There's a slight cold. So this is the seventh level, and then there's the sixth level, and the sixth level is very, very important for our question. It is the idea of the universe. It is the idea of creation. So there is everything, all that is, perfection. There is nothing outside. And then there is this idea to create something, to experience. And how can we experience if we are everything? We need to create a construction where we look at whatever it is, life, from different angles, where we explore, where we develop. But in order to do that, we need to kind of create differences. But if everything is just one, this is a very kind of strange idea. But this is the idea behind the universe, to create differences, different viewpoints, different experiences, and to go on a journey of discovering things, of going further and further and further. And in order to do that, to create this difference, basically what needed to be created is individuality. What ultimately today we often refer to as the ego. And there is so much talk about overcoming the ego. Well, that's not the point. The point is the ego is there to experience exactly what we wanted. We wanted to experience something from one particular viewpoint and then change and look at it from a different viewpoint again and again and again. It's like a gigantic game, play, film, what is it, computer game or something like that, just as an idea to get the picture, to just look at things and act and react and see what's coming out of that. And in order to do that, there is a phenomenal working tool. And this working tool is called free will. And this, for me, was the missing part in the puzzle, the idea of free will. So we can experience everything we want. And we can do everything we want. We can kill. We can kill ourselves. We can lie. We can cheat. We can drive fast cars. We can have the best paid job in the world. We can live in poverty for an entire life. All these are experiences. And I know this has been explained and described in many spiritual literature. And I found it always very, very difficult to accept, to be honest. So everything is possible. There's no judgment, whatever I do. Well, yes, in a way, this is really the case because it's just an experience. But we've done this now for hundreds of thousands, for millions of years, coming in different shapes and forms in our individual physical shape as human beings. For hundreds of thousands of years, we've been going back and forth to the spirit level, the fourth level. So this is the third and the three-dimensional, and the fourth is the level around where we are in spirit shape. And we have these groups, spirit families. And then in one life, we are mother and son. And in the next life, we are wife and husband. And in the third, we are neighbors. And in the fourth, one doesn't join in and stays up there. So all these things. In one life, we may do something that is just extraordinary. And in another life, we look at this from a different aspect, how it feels like to be like on the side that's not so pleasant and extraordinary. We do something that is actually at the expense of other people. And then in the next life, we experience it from the other side. This is I'm afraid how the universe works, because this is what we wanted to experience. Without judgment, just experiencing. Personally, I've had enough of that. And I think we are reaching the point where collectively we've had enough of that. Another war, another accident, another illness, another nightmare, another failed relationship. It just goes on and on and on. But this is part of the whole idea. So if we want to change that, we need to put all our power in to really change this. There is an additional element because the universe is created as a web of energy. Energy is the building block of the universe. Everything is energy. So everything just vibrates on different vibrational levels. So whatever we do means we use energy and we change energy. And we create an imprint. So if we are kind, and we know that, if we smile, if we are friendly, then this kind of comes back to us. If we are not, then people around us are living in fear, and we feel there's a hostile atmosphere. And if we build a lot of that and create a lot of this energy, in next incarnation, the energy may still be there. So haunting is probably the wrong expression, but in a way it haunts us. It comes back to us. So it's there and it needs to be changed. It may be changed by taking the opposite side and experiencing things from a different angle. It may be changed through forgiveness. It may be changed through understanding the why this is. But we have this energy that we created. We have the free will that we can create it. But every time we jump into an incarnation, we lose track. We lose the memory. It's a complete amnesia. When we are born as a child, we may have some very, very slight ideas as a child. That happens quite often, that people talk about weird things as children and that are related to previous incarnations or the previous incarnation. But then this is not culturally accepted. And over time, we just accept the three-dimensional existence as the one and only and the normal kind of life. And so we are jumping into that, and we are completely dependent as children on our parents. And at some stage, we are more self-dependent. Can we really depend on ourselves? So we start struggling and we start being fearful. And this is the toxic combination. Individuality or separation, free will, we can do anything. There are no limits. Guilt or karma and fear. And this over time has built the world as it is. So now it's not just what we want to experience, but we are also faced with what we collectively have already created, and we need to uncreate it. And the only way to uncreate it is to reconnect to who we really are, beyond the ever-changing incarnations, beyond the experiences. There is what we really are, because we are always connected to the universe. The experience is temporary, but our true being is eternal, our soul. And so when we reconnect to our heart, then we can change the world. And this really is the whole idea behind the Reiki Revolution. This is basically how Reiki works. It is a reconnection. So we connect, we say to the universe, but ultimately we connect to the seventh level. We connect to eternity. We connect to the highest power in the universe. Reiki means exactly that. And with every moment we connect and we bring this connection in there, we reconnect, and we reconnect to our hearts, and we can bring in change very, very powerfully. And this is the idea behind the Reiki Revolution, to do that collectively. And I just see this idea of law of attraction. Absolutely, law of attraction. I want something, so I'm kind of getting it. That's the free will. It's absolutely fascinating how these kind of different angles explain the universe. But in order to undo it, we can either step out and say, I want nothing to do anymore with this, it's just an experience. Or we say, I want to create a better experience. I want to create a more positive, more loving life. And I think that Reiki can really, really help with this. And just to feel this for a moment, I would like to ask you to just join me in connecting to Reiki for a moment. Just connect to Reiki, and then place your hands on your heart or on your heart chakra. And just allow Reiki to open your heart and to feel the true soul, the true spiritual being that you are. And then just take a moment to thank Reiki and come back into the here and now. If we really deepen this connection and just open our heart more and more, everything can change. But we do need also help from other people, and we need to create a community to support each other. Of course, there are forces in the world that resent that. And these forces are not bad forces. They simply want to continue experiencing the playfulness, the law of attraction. I want to kill. I want to fight. I think it's cool, higher, faster, bigger, and at the expense of other people. So the fear that there's scarcity, and that I need to claim my stake so that other people can't get there, otherwise they will take things from me. All these kind of things. So these are the forces that are in the universe, and they are completely understandable. Of course, we have these forces inside of us as well. So it's not as easy, as simple. Otherwise, we would long be there. But I think we can get there with the help of Reiki. And this is why we are on this path. And this is why we are here together collectively today. And all the people who will watch the replay afterwards. It's a giant task But just imagine, we can play a role in making the world a better place. All we need to do is make our lives happier. This is basically all it is. When we live more from our heart, when we reach out more, when we follow our dreams and we are more creative, but not at the expense of others, but inclusive and respectful, then we can create automatically a better world. It's a win-win situation that is just beyond anything that has ever been done. And I'm absolutely certain that we can do this together, and it's just so wonderful. So we are very, very much at the start of that, and I hope what I said made some sense. While I speak about that, I'm very, very clear about the task of bringing a lot of clarity in my writing, and this is what I'm trying very hard. But there's a lot of guidance and information coming through, and just fascinating. Some information that I had absolutely no idea how the universe was structured, that it was structured in this way, and really the power that we can have as individual beings. So more and more, we will continue exploring all this together. But of course, in our daily lives, we need help, we need support. The support from Reiki is extraordinary, but it's deepened and magnified once we join together. And this is what we do at the Reiki shares here, or at the live programs, to connect with each other, to connect to Reiki, and then all send Reiki to everybody else, so that we get Reiki from everybody who is live here. And of course, everybody who is going to join at a later stage, because time and space is an illusion. It's just there for experience. And with Reiki, we can cut right through very, very powerfully and experientially. So to experience and immerse in Reiki together is what I would like to invite you to do now for the next 10-15 minutes or so. So just connect to Reiki. However you learned it, however you do it yourself, the key is the intention. And just feel your connection to Reiki. And when you're ready, you can either set your intention, or you can add the connection symbol or distance symbol, and then connect with everybody on this Reiki share now and wherever is joining in the future. And just allow Reiki to flow. Just experience the connection, share it with everybody, and at the same time become aware that you are receiving Reiki through the individual channels of everybody taking part in the Reiki share. And if you have a specific area of your life that is causing you problems, anything physical, emotionally, mentally, or spiritually, your understanding, just set your intention. Just ask Reiki to help you with it. The beauty is that we can really let go and accept that we are not in charge. We allow Reiki in through us to everybody and through everybody to ourselves. We don't need to focus or continue focusing while using or receiving Reiki. You can just allow it to work. The initial intention is enough. Then you can slowly bring your awareness back into the here and now. Just bring your hands together for a moment and thank Reiki. And when you're ready, open your eyes again. Of course, Reiki also starts a process. So it's not just these 15 minutes of Reiki treatment, but it then starts, it goes on, it carries on. There's a seed in there, and then it continues throughout the night and bringing more and more changes. But also the regularity is very, very important. And I'm sure many of you do that anyway, but I would very, very strongly suggest giving yourself Reiki every single day. Personally, I start every day with a Reiki self-treatment for about half an hour. And I've just recently posted a video how I do it on YouTube. So you can have a look at that, or you simply follow your intuition. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for making this show just such a community event. And if you have any questions that you would like answered or discussed, by all means, please send them in. Please just email them. Next year, as I say, is going to be really, really powerful. From the very, very first day, there's this incredibly momentous Reiki challenge starting on the 1st of January. Then we'll have more guests on the show again in February. At the moment, it seems on the 8th of February, the Reiki Revolution Manifesto. The new book will launch and will then start bringing more and more people to the Reiki Revolution. And we have several live courses in London, and from March onwards, I will be in the States, starting in New York, and then go wherever people invite me. So I will be there live, and I really, really look forward to connecting and to bringing this momentum to everybody, so that we all carry on working on this. This is not a one-person show. This is meant to be a worldwide movement. So thank you so very, very much for being part of it. And I look forward to seeing you next week, Tuesday, the 20th of December, in Christmas, festive, whatever you are in spirit. And we'll have another YouTube live show then. Until then, have a fabulous rest of the day, rest of the evening, wherever you are, morning, wherever you are in the world. Let's just, where do I need to click on? Let me just try to find that. Yes, I found it. So thank you so much. Have a great evening. Wonderful seeing so many of you joining in, and see you next week.